Hey guys, it's Crusher, and we all know that the meta is always changing. What's good, what builds work, what builds don't, and what a lot of people have been noticing recently is there's a lot of low requirement medium weapons that match up with some of the high requirement weapons at only 10, 25, or 40 points, where most people would be spending 80, 90, or even 100. Not only that, but people have been using hero blades and legendary weapons with low requirements on their weapon as well. With the addition of new paths and attunements, and more options to do more damage or different playstyles, it's just needed to get these extra points, making one of the new metas as the new armor that has paired souls and a katana, which makes the katana do extra damage and more powerful than a champion sword at only 25 medium. These builds allow so much versatility in what talents you take and what you do with your build overall, letting more people go into, let's say, the new Gale Breath path with another attunement, or the new Twisted Puppets path, or anything of that sort. And as we've noticed this new trend of, I'll say, hyper min-maxing, where they want the most talents possible, the best they can possibly get, sacrificing a little bit of damage for much more health and resistance, and overall just being more efficient of a build, there's actually a race that is paid to win now. And this race actually has the possibility to have more defensive options than Vesperian does. Now some of you may have guessed it already, but the race I am talking about is Khan. This race is so powerful after all of these new changes and this new meta has emerged. Khan is actually the best race in my opinion. Those 3 extra points can make builds that are normally impossible to create very possible. Like, let's use this build as an example. This right here is a Grand Sudruska Khan build that uses every single point perfectly, whether it be the reinforced armor or the crystallization talents. It doesn't waste a single point, and it all goes towards making the build better. There's no extra points to do extra damage or anything like that. They are all going towards points. And without Khan, you'd have to sacrifice either your reinforced armor or the 85 frost for the crystal talent. It all goes to use and nothing is wasted. There's so many examples of this, and even with a medium katana, I've seen so many Khan builds that can fit reinforced armor, twisted puppets, necessary talents that you otherwise would not be able to fit all onto one build. And it's just so good, and it makes a build so much more sustainable, tanky, and honestly just reliable. And people haven't just been using this for PvP. PvE players have also picked up on how good this race is, and they've been creating builds that have abused Khan's 3-point weapon reduction to get more viability out of their builds. Like this one right here can one-cycle Chaser. It does very well in Ho mode, and is honestly just a very solid PvE build that is not as good if you don't go Khan. I already know some of you might be thinking, well, 3 points isn't actually that big of a difference. But here's the thing, if people are willing to sacrifice so much damage to go a 40 or 25 requirement weapon, 3 extra points for free is so much. They don't have to sacrifice anything, and they can equip this weapon. It will be the most minuscule amount of damage they're losing just for 3 extra points. I know some people might think that they don't need the best build if they want to be a good player, and that is true, but if you want an edge, the good players will have the best builds. So if you are a good player on equal skill level and fight somebody with a mediocre build, you will win. If you are a good player on the same skill level and you're playing against somebody with a perfectly min-maxed build, most of the time you will lose. And that's why people say Deepwoken is build versus build, because they don't understand that skill is a big part, but builds also play an equal part in the fight. It's not build versus build or skill versus skill, it's a mix of both, and that's what people need to understand in this game. If you got all the way here, thank you for watching, and I'd really appreciate it if you liked, subscribed, and dropped a comment with your feedback, what I could change, what I could do better, and come and join my Discord. I live stream daily, and thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next time.